Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Persona 3 FES. In the last episode, we witnessed Junpei's past just before the events of the main story, and we got to learn a little bit more about another side of Junpei, and learned a little bit more insight about him as well. From apparently he actually ended up running away from home due to his alcoholic father. We also learned that he was the first of C's to actually meet Koromaru, and we also learned how he actually became a C's member, and the night of his recruitment, and how Akihiko had found him. So, we actually got to learn a little bit more about our blazing phoenix that rose from the ashes, and is living today because of Chidori's sacrifice / revival, as we got in the main story, because that's how our story ended, with Chidori reviving herself. So honestly, yeah, definitely a little bit of tidbits about Junpei's past and everything that I actually wanted to learn about. Although there's still a little bit more things I would like to learn about him. That was actually really nice of a little bit of like a refresher on some of the things we learned in the main story, and it kind of went more in detail on some of the facts that we kind of haven't learned about yet. So honestly, it was pretty cool. So, with that being said, we're actually getting into the 5th of the Abyss of Time doors. And that means we're going to be getting into Ptolemy, or however you say it. But we're definitely on the 5th of the 7 that are here in today. And honestly, I think that there's going to be one more due to the fact that it's just kind of obvious due to the fact that due to how this works, usually there's eight blocks in the Tartarus, and this is literally like a reverse of the Tartarus. So I'm going to say there's more than likely 8 doors and one of them's missing, since if you look at the main area, there's literally a big huge area where another door could be. So I'm going to say there's more than likely another one, because of the fact that, as I said, this is literally a reverse Tartarus. So I'm pretty sure we got one more after everything. So with that, let's see what's going on here.
This must be the 5th door. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think we are. So, with our normal team, since unlike the main story, we don't need to swap it around every now and then, because due to the fact that this is a lot harder than the main story's Tartarus, I actually do have to focus on one team, just to make sure we have one strong, solid team to work with. So honestly, we're just going to use Mitsuru, Akihiko, Metis, and Aegis, just because it's safe. So yeah, that's definitely what's going to happen. But it is probably for the best, honestly. So, let's see what's going on with Fuka here.
Are we going to see another past event here? That black shadow that appears from time to time in the past events. Are they really related to our being trapped in the dorm? I guess the only choice we have is to believe what Metis says. Worrying about it won't accomplish anything. Please move on and find the truth.
Okay, with that, we will indeed find the answer, since that's literally what the story is called. So, definitely something we will be finding. So, let's see what kind of shadows we are fighting here, since that is something we should probably figure out right away, isn't it? Because it is very important what we find out what we're fighting. Okay. This guy doesn't look too dangerous, to be honest, so let's just auto him, since I don't think we need to worry about him reflecting physical skills, because honestly, he doesn't look like the kind of shadow to actually have any kind of physical repel skills. So yeah, definitely you should show up in more groups than showing bump by yourself, because that just makes things easier for me at the end of the day game. Because honestly, after fighting groups of enemies that are like 5 groups, honestly, one shadow does not scare me whatsoever, and I'm gonna be completely honest, so you gotta try a little bit harder than that. Okay, these guys are a little bit, more in-depth, because we fought these guys before, but, honestly, is he gonna be weak to... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, is he still weak to wind, because that's when he was in the original area. Oh no, that was the Grave Beetle, wasn't it? So, actually, I don't think we know then. Okay, based on what I can see, we got a rank 6, but I'll take it. I haven't really used any of the weapon card items, to be honest. Honestly, they don't really feel worthwhile to use at the end of the day, to be honest. And it looks like we're going the wrong way, so we gotta walk all the way back this way. Honestly, due to the fact that it doesn't seem like shadows are scared of us anymore, or they are scared of us, I mean, honestly, we might be able to use something we haven't used at all. So honestly, let's do this. So let's see here, we can go to the field menu, and we can actually tell our allies to split up. this was a skill we got all the way back at the beginning of the game, so it's honestly cool to actually use it. And of course we find the stairs right away, so that's actually pretty funny that didn't really come in handy. Oh, hey stairs. Thanks, game. I like the free stairs every now and again. And another free stairs. Really? Huh, okay. Well, due to the fact that it just gave us another stair, like, back-to-back, if I can shoot the shadow, that is, we'll fight off a shadow before going in there, just because that's a little too early to have 2 sets of stairs, I'm gonna be honest. If I was, like, doing my cut to the next area, then I wouldn't mind about that, but honestly, after, like, I'm hanging out with you guys, and we usually do 5 together. It seems a little too early to cut off without you guys, to be honest, so I just felt like doing another shadow just so you guys get to at least see a couple fights before we do the first cut to the first boss, just so you can see some of the things that we can be running into when it comes to this floor, since obviously you won't be seeing much of it due to the fact that I've been trying to stay away from as much keeping too many areas of the Tartarus in these episodes, or it's basically the Tartarus, but the Abyss of Time Tartarus. I just don't want you guys to watch me go through the entirety of it, because it gets repetitive and I'm trying to make it so it's at least something's happening no matter what we do. And that's why I always like doing a little bit of commentary during our, like, walks through these areas, because honestly I don't get to, like, hang out with you guys as much nowadays due to the fact that how we do our stories, well, we do technically when it comes to whenever a character asks us a question, or there's something I have on my mind that I talk to, and then we cut off, like, our commentary for a little bit when it comes to voice acting the characters and everything, and then I'll talk to you about something like that. But the Tartarus has basically been my means of, like, talking about things that I've been thinking about during the entirety of the story, because there's things that have happened during the story that I still want to learn about, which we have yet to learn. So I like bringing up little theories and every now and again. So that's basically what I do with this, but we also do that during the boss fights. But that's basically all really that I've had fun with the Tartarus and the Abyss of Time, to be honest. I like the boss fights. Boss fights are fun, but the floors do get repetitive, I'm gonna be honest, but thankfully you guys don't have to deal with it, and I barely have to deal with it, since whenever I'm not hanging out with you guys, I have a button where I can speed up time to double the speed. So I can go through it as faster and actually train a little bit faster than you normally would in the original game. So it is definitely nice, but it is better than I can see people doing this at normal speed. This would take forever, I'm gonna be honest. So thankfully I don't have to worry about that, but it is something that I do kind of wonder how bad it would be if you had to do this at, like, normal speed through the entirety of it. All the slowdown, all the training at normal speed without having to, like, and then you also have to worry about dying constantly as well. So, yeah, definitely something I've thought about, but thankfully something we don't have to worry about, but it is definitely something to think about, though. But with that, let's continue.
Wait a second. I sense a strong presence. It's about 4 floors below you. Your present location, please be careful.
Okay, so 4 floors away from us, so on the 8th floor, we'll be going towards our next boss fights. Okay, that's good to know. So, with that being said, I'll see you all.
Oh my goodness. Somehow you've been separated.
Oh, one of the little special events. I've actually never gotten that in episode before. But with that, I'll be seeing you all once we get into the, first boss fight. So apparently that's going to be happening on the 8th or the 9th floor. So with that, I'll see you guys very, very shortly. Okay, into the 7th floor in Ptolomia. We're actually going to be heading into our first boss fight of 2, more than likely. So, with that, let's jump down the hole and see what kind of fresh new hell we get ourselves into, since we're definitely going to be fighting off with something.
I'm sensing a strong presence below. You may have to fight immediately after you're going down there. Are you sure you're prepared?
And I think we are. So, let's jump down the hole and see what we're getting ourselves into, since we already know we're going to be fighting off with something. Okay, so we got one that's definitely weak to ice right off the bat. Right below, or right behind Fuka's little television screen thing. So, honestly, I don't know what the other things could be weak to, but that one's definitely fire, so definitely going to be an ice weakness.
We must get through here. Please hang in there.
Okay, with that, we'll definitely try. So, let's see what we get ourselves into, since we're definitely running into something here. Okay, well, due to the fact that we just feel safer whenever we do this, let's just swap into Atropos here, and go straight for the Moderate Kaja for the free attack, since that's honestly safe. If I didn't have Auto Tower Kaja, it technically would be a little bit better when it comes to that part, but it's just nice to have that spell on top of everything. Okay. Now that we have that, we can go into the Maracundum, since that's honestly the combo I always like to use, since it's the safest option, and it's just something I like to make sure we do, because boss fights can be aggressive if you're not doing things right, so just want to make sure that you're always doing the buffs first before you ever get into a boss fight, just because it's safer, and they're trying to knock down Akihiko since he's weak to ice. Definitely interesting, but we'll be able to deal with it, I think. We have Power Charge here, yeah we do, okay. Just to make sure, for her next turn she goes in Origin mode. Let's turn that on now. And honestly, I think, yeah, how we do it now is where she uses the Power Charge on her own, and then goes in Origin mode. She gets more turns out of Origin mode through physical attacking, so I just think it's smarter to do it that way, because she gets to use her first turn in Origin mode instead. Okay, sadly, Aegis isn't going to be using many of her turns, since they have electricity on their team. That's definitely unfortunate, since we might be comboed into that, but we might be able to deal with that. Okay. Well, due to the fact that there's still other enemies, even though one of them might have a reflection, yeah, reflection to electricity, it's still good if we use that, since it doesn't really bother us at the end of the day. Okay, Bufala, since we do know one of them is fire, so weakness, yep, there we go, perfect. One of them heals on ice, though, which is good to know. And they also have Partra, that's interesting. That's the first time I've ever seen an enemy have that. Okay, then. Well, we can either go Vicious Strike here for all foes get hit with physical, which would be smart. Let's go for that. I don't know if any of them have Reflect, since we actually do take physical damage back to ourselves. Okay, the fire guy heals on fire, or on physical, or smashing damage. Good to know. Okay, so a lot of them do things that we don't want, but thankfully they didn't knock down Aegis again, so we get to turn back into Chernobog. Okay, good. Now we're actually back into working at full damage. Okay, so since we do know one of them heals, we can actually knock out the other two, so let's go for that. Let's see here. Oh, none of them actually... Oh, that's good to know. So none of them reflect slashing, so slashing goes through no matter what. Okay, one of them healed off that. Which one was it? I don't know which one it was. I think it was the blue mask guy that died. So oh no, he reflects it. Okay, good to know. Okay. Well, we do know this guy takes ice damage, so let's go straight for him, knock him out, and thankfully he doesn't have evasion, it seems like, which is good, because it seems like it's almost impossible to hit through that. Okay, and I think this one healed on ice, so I guess we smash through him. And then I think he also takes physical damage, so we can also go for that, so let's just smash him in the face with this. Blink. Oh no, he blocks it. Okay, so that's good to know. Okay, so that means we can only use slashing on him in a couple, and we can't use thunder on him. Okay, interesting, but Deathbound does go through him, so honestly we can go for that, since we do know that's gonna hit. Okay. And Aki really can't do anything then, if that's the case, because of the fact that... Yeah, that would be the case. Okay, so I guess Akihiko just kinda has to wait here, I guess. Or he can maybe go for, decreases the, yeah, let's drop their hit and evasion, just in case. Because then if he does get to hit me, we can dodge it. Okay, that's safe. And now we do know we can go straight for the Bufadine, so let's just knock him out. And that should be donezo for him. Never mind. I keep forgetting their reflex, because it's kind of hard when you're attacking 3 people and then you have to kind of figure it out. So, okay, now we at least know. Does he reflect Garudine, or does he also block that? Because that's also something we need to figure out. He heals on wind. Okay, that's kind of annoying, but it's good to know. Okay, so he's got a lot of things he blocks back. Okay, go for another Deathbound, and then I need to heal Aegis just in case, because we don't need Aegis going down. I was kind of hoping for a crit. Okay, so was I wrong on the Zyodyne then? Because I thought it was... Oh, no, he does take Zyodyne. Okay, so I just got mixed up with the fire table guy because I really couldn't tell what was going on there. Okay, that's interesting, but at least we got level 72 out of it and another level for Chernobog. I would be getting levels for Alice, But the thing is, it's kind of hard to train Alice when she doesn't have almighty damage, because of the fact that she has no attacks, basically. All she has is Ziodyne at the moment, and I want to get her Die For Me ability, but I can't get it because of the fact that I trained for it, and then I died. So, yeah, I kind of gave up on training her for a second, just because I didn't want to deal with it again. But, yeah, I do have Alice, and I want to train her, and I want to mix Chernobog and Alice together at some point to hopefully get a persona with that ability that also has Megiddola, which would be really, really nice. But I don't know when that's going to be happening, because I would really like to upgrade that at some point.
The atmosphere is different here. I wonder why. The lower we go, the more nervous I get. It's still far away now, but I'm sensing a strong presence below. Brace yourselves for it.
Brace myself for it, so that means we're definitely going to be fighting another thing, right? But, let's see here. Definitely an interesting looking area. It kind of looks like the area when we get to the end of the places. You know, the ones floating around that looks like the endless staircase. This looks like that area. That's interesting. Huh, that's weird. But with that being said, I'll see you once we get to the next strong presence. Since, as we know, whenever we get to the final one, it's usually when Mikoto or Spooks makes an appearance. So, with that being said, I'll see you all once we get to our next little area. Okay, now that we're on the 16th floor, we have another spawning of Spooks, so that means we're on the final boss for this area more than likely. So, with that, let's follow him, and let's actually see what fresh new hell we're getting ourselves into, since we always know that whenever we see him, or whenever we get to an area like this, we gotta fight another boss. So, let's see what our next Guardian's gonna be, since that's honestly what they are at the end of the day. They're not bosses or Guardians. But honestly, let's see what our new Guardian is gonna be.
The enemy seems to be waiting below. Are you ready?
Yes, I am. So, let's jump on down and get further and further and deeper into the abyss of time. And it looks like we have a Minotaur. Okay, interesting.
Shadow confirmed. If the presence is summoning them, does that mean it's an enemy? But it seems like...
Yeah, there he is. And he's running off again. And he waited. He keeps waiting for us to see him. And then he runs off. It's weird. It's very, very strange. It wants us to see it. That's the interesting bit.
It doesn't seem like it's going to attack us this time, either. Focus on the shadow. Get ready.
Okay, so let's take on the Red Minotaur then, since we do know that thing's gonna attack us. So, let's see what we got ourselves into. Okay, and I actually remembered this time to actually have Metropus out right away, so we actually can use the Madarakaja without swapping this time around. I just forget about that sometimes, just to do it beforehand, because I can always do it. It's just I forget about it. Okay, Magarudyne, that's... Oh, no one's actually weak to that. Okay, that's actually good. Okay, well, because of what I said, we'll make sure to wait until her turn to do that. Okay, Mind Charge Mitsuru, since that's just safe in general. Okay, honestly, then Akihiko, good. Okay, that's the wrong one. I thought that was the right one, and then I noticed it was the wrong one. We want Maraconda. Okay, perfect. Good. Now we just drop the defense. We have our raised attack, and he has his lower defense. Okay, now we gotta turn the tactic for her onto Origin mode now, and then we can go straight into the power charge for her. And then we're perfectly set now. And we no longer have that weird graphical bug anymore for Vicious Strike, since we don't have that ability anymore, which is really good. Because now it's Aksha Arts, which is really good, because it's basically the same thing, but it's stronger damage. Okay, so now that we're here, we can now go into Chernobog, and now we can try and figure out from there what to do from there. Okay, so first off's first, I'm going to say probably go straight into the Deathbound to hopefully get a crit, since I don't have to worry about him repelling it, because even if he repels it, we nullify that damage, so we don't have to worry about that. He's going for a lot of Magarudynes, which can be very dangerous, but thankfully it's not too dangerous. Okay, now we get to figure out if he's weak to ice or if he blocks it. He blocks it. Okay, good to know. Do you block electricity? We're about to find out if he blocks all elementals. He doesn't, but he takes 724 damage from it, so he has no resistance. That's good. Okay, that actually works for us then. Okay. Well, since he's he's nullifying Bufanine, let's see if he takes Garudine, but we could also go for a straight-up attack. So let's go for the high crit and see what happens, because that's honestly smart. Because if we can get a crit on him, we honestly win right away. And he's basically already almost down. Yeah, and honestly, this guy's a pushover. I'm gonna be honest. So far, at least. He could be a lot stronger, we don't know yet. Thankfully, we're not using anybody weak to win, so we don't really have to worry as much. Okay, so since slashing's working, and this is a slashing attack, we can just auto. Okay, good. And then Zyodyne should knock him out unless he dodges it. So let's see here. And down he goes, and Caesar is indeed destroyed the Minotaur, so that works. And we also got a Scarlet Choker. I think those items are, allow you to fuse certain personas, because of the fact that you don't specifically have, the ability to fuse the hexagonal and the other, like, special type of personas. You get those through, like, triangle fusions and normal fusions. So I have a feeling that's probably how it is, because I haven't been able to actually find those items anywhere, and I don't know where they actually keep them. Because, actually, wait, I think there is one area. I think the dictionary, if we have the option to do it. No, we can't even look in the dictionary, so, yeah, I can't even look at it. But yeah, I remember the dictionary having your items, I think, if I remember correctly, for, like, fusion-based ones. But yeah, I think that's what those are. So whatever that is, it unlocked a new fusion for us to use at the end of the day, which is good if that's the case. But I honestly don't know, because it's kind of vague on what it is, because I keep looking in there and I don't know what I'm looking for, because it's not there. Sometimes they give you selling items, though, as well. But yeah, definitely strange at the end of the day.
That Black Shadow, Menace says she doesn't know what it is, but is that true? I know we have to take her word for it, but I'm still uneasy. Sorry I lost track of that Black Shadow. Maybe you can find clues ahead. Please check it down.
Okay, and with that, due to the fact that, usually when, Spooks or Makoto shows up, usually it means that we're closer and closer to the end. So with that being said, I'll see you once we actually get to the Sands of Time location where that Door of Time is, where we see the past or present or whatever is going on, because we're more than likely going to be running into that next, since that's how this kind of works at this moment due to just how we've seen things. It's kind of obvious what we're going to see next due to things we've previously seen. So I'm going to say we're more than likely going to see the Door of Time next. So I'll see you guys very, very shortly. Okay, now that we're on the 25th floor, we're now at the next Door of Time. Don't know what we're going to be finding in it, but due to the track record of it, we're more than likely going to see the past of another character. Out of all the characters that I can think that maybe it could talk about, could be Fuka, could be Yukari, could be Mitsuru. We kind of saw Koromaru and Junpei in the same one, or it could be Shinjiro as well. But yeah, there's a bunch of characters that still have yet to see their past, but it also could be another thing like Polonia Mall. So, with that being said, let's see what we're getting ourselves into.
It looks like a dead end, and we still haven't found anything about that Black Shadow. I was really hoping we'd get some clues this time. Anyways, we're heading over there now. Please look a little around while you wait.
And as you can see here, that definitely looks like the place we were walking through for the short amount of time that you guys saw. But yeah, it's weird. So, that is kind of strange. There's that weird clock thing again. Interesting place, honestly, at the end of the day. But with that, let's see what our next Door of Time actually has for us. Since it's more than likely going to have something inside it. Don't know what, but it's the Tartarus. Interesting. Okay. So the Tartarus of all things. Hey, Mr. Kirijo and a young Mitsuru. Okay. And it looks like the scientist that told us what happened with Chidori as well, since that's a very specific model, because I've never seen any other scientist with that model, so I'm guessing it's the same dude, since he didn't have a name, to be honest, but it does look like that guy, so I'm gonna guess it's probably him. So this is the interior of the Tartarus. It's only the second time anyone has been here without special equipment. Okay. That's weird. So why are they in here then? Normal weaponry is useless against shadows. Any equipment we brought should be for your peace of mind. Everyone here has had their potential developed in our labs. That should suffice to protect us. Oh, so the people that Strega said only certain people lived and they were the last ones? These guys around us are those people. Okay. But the thing is only 3 of them survived. So these guys around us, other than the scientist, Mr. Kirijo and Mitsuru, all died more than likely due to the fact that what we know. Interesting. And even if you're devoured, that in itself would be valuable data for us. That's not funny. Weird. Ugh, is anyone left in the Ergo division who isn't a psycho? True. Very, very true. In any case, sir, are you all right with this? I mean, bringing your daughter. Are you okay with it, Mr. Kirijo? I'm surprised he even knew anything about the forced research thing for the personas and everything. That is weird.
I don't mind at all. I myself requested to come along.
Okay.
You heard her.
Yeah, you heard her indeed. I see. I'm sorry to have spoken out of turn, sir. It's weird. This is weird, like, weird in general. This is a weird flashback to see. Hey, what's wrong? Yeah, what's wrong, dude? Oh, he's not doing too good. Gah? Yeah? I'm really confused right now. Oh. Okay, then? He turned into a shadow. That's very out of nowhere, to be honest, but okay. What the? That's pretty weird. Looks like it's back to the drawing board for the artificial development of potential. Sir, miss, step aside.
That's a shadow.
You little... I don't think normal guns are gonna work on that thing, to be honest. Yeah, you should use your normal weapons. You know, your... Oh wait, they don't have evokers, do they? Okay, so... Yeah, how would they even fight off with a shadow if they don't have anything? Sir, miss. Oh, Mitsuru.
Father.
Oh, so this is what happened. Okay, so I was wondering why it was important, and that's why, although it seemed really weird out of nowhere to show a memory like this, but now it makes sense. So this was when Mitsuru first awakened her persona. Okay. Oh, did you see that? Such power. It's a persona. I was right. Persona users do exist. Wait. Now that makes even less sense. So, if they didn't know persona users existed beforehand, how did that guy know that? Oh, because Persona 2 and Persona 1. Because in those games, personas are used in everyday life. Okay. That's strange and interesting, but it's still kind of confusing due to the fact that... Okay. It doesn't really add up, but it is kind of out there, this one. The other ones I could kind of, follow, but it is kind of strange, the confirmation of everything at the moment. I guess there's, information I don't understand yet, I guess? But it is a weird memory, honestly.
Mitsuru.
Yeah, she's gonna be fine. We know that, because she's still alive right now. But she'll be better soon.
Father, I'm glad you're safe.
That was wonderful, Lady Mitsuru. A beautiful expression of your natural potential. At last, our future seems bright.
Why are you so happy about it?
Well, yeah, it's not a good thing because it's his own daughter that's doing this now. So, yeah, of course he wouldn't be too happy about it.
Now Mitsuru can never escape from the destiny of atonement. She'll spend her life bound to a cursed legacy, when she should be finding her own way. What's so bright about that?
Yeah, not bright at all. Now she's gotta be the one to fix the Tartarus, and we know that.
Don't worry, Father. I chose this for myself. I'll protect you, Father.
So that's where her wanting to protect her father came from.
Mitsuru.
Well, obviously, it's something she probably should do, want to protect her father in general, but that's actually where, where the confirmation of all that started, so that's interesting. It's actually nice to see Mr. Kirijo again, but it's weird that he was helping with that kind of research. isn't it? Because of the fact that he's trying to undo it now, or he's dead now, but he was trying to undo it in the end. So that means that although he originally was for it, he did end up seeing the error of the ways of the Kirijo group's involvement in the Tartarus creation, which he was kind of forced into it due to his father being the one that started the whole thing. So it is interesting, and it honestly adds a little bit more to why the Kirijo group is involved in everything. We still need to find out more about the grandfather. That's the memory I want, because we can learn more about the grandfather and Shuji. That would be the most important information we can get, because that's the one thing I need to know, is why they wanted the fall to happen, and why they were pushing for that kind of existence in the first place, because it's still unknown, and even Strega didn't really give us an answer either, even though they were kind of involved in the fall as well, so it is very strange.
Was it Senpai's?
Yep, that was Mitsuru as a very young kid, and that must have been like at least 10 years ago then.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Senpai, what's the matter?
Yeah, what's the matter, Mitsuru?
Oh, well, I'm sorry. It's just that seeing father before my eyes, as if he were still alive, was... Senpai?
So it seems like the C's armbands were still around then, so I thought Akihiko was the first one, but the people that were like Strega were the false potential persona users, were the ones that were the first members of C's. That's interesting to really think about, because they all had the armbands, so it's really weird, even though they were never full members, because Mitsuru never talks about them, so... Or she probably doesn't even really remember them, as the reason for these doors seem to be memories that the members have forgotten. So that is interesting. Very, very interesting. So there was other C's members that wasn't Akihiko, even though I really thought Akihiko was the first one. Huh. Okay then.
But wasn't Mitsuru-senpai really cute when she was little?
I guess.
Excuse me, are you saying that's no longer the case?
Yeah, are you saying it's no longer the case, Junpei?
No, that's not what come on, you got it all wrong.
Junpei doesn't know what to say half the time, but let's be honest. The swamp Junpei that thinks he's a like the seducer of all seducers never understands that he needs to think about things before he says them.
It's exactly as I thought.
What's exactly as you thought?
Of past events we've seen up to this point, the first one seemed to be about getting ready for a battle, but the others, how should I put it? It feels like there's some aspect they all have in common. Do you all think so?
I guess. Yeah, they have something in common. They're all our reasons for fighting, or how we got into the fight in the first place. It seems like.
Yes, but for now, we don't know what that might be.
True. We don't know what the reason is.
This is the fifth door. We should be getting closer to the source we're looking for.
True. But what are we gonna find at the source? What's the real point of this in the first place? It really is strange. And why are we connected to it? That's the weirdest part about it.
I just remembered. There's something I have to tell you all.
What's that?
Remember the machinery and the documents Mitsuru-senpai found? I looked into them, and it turns out they were things that the chairman hid when he was still alive.
Oh, so okay. So we're finally getting some information about Shuji then. Okay.
Most of them were from the accident 10 years ago, so he must have hid them so they wouldn't be destroyed. Some of them were notes I found seemed to be talking about the Abyss of Time.
Wait, Shuji knew about the Abyss of Time? Okay. That's interesting. Why would he know about it, and how did he know about it? Huh. That's very strange.
Is that true?
Yeah, is it?
We may be close to discovering what this place really is.
Okay, that's good to know.
We're closing in on it?
Apparently so. We should hurry forward. Yeah, we really should. Okay, so we're finally getting some answers. You decided to return to the lounge. Okay, back to the dorm after our treacherous journey into the Antinora block. Okay, so what do you guys think?
There are 7 doors in the desert. That means we have to get through 7 areas. I thought we still had a long way to go, but there are only 2 left now.
Yeah, we're nearly there. Now there's time to step it up, guys. Let's hurry forward.
Okay, true. Like we always do, let's talk to the entire team, and we'll start from left and then go to Metis.
Do you remember what Metis said at the beginning? This claim that the abyss of time is originally small and disconnected from the outside world. Well, what we're seeing is in these papers seem to confirm that. I think the girl really does want only to save you, Aegis.
Okay, that's good. I already trust her at this point, but it's good to know that she is out here to actually protect us.
In the end, I wasn't able to protect Father as I promised. And it's more than that, I feel as though I let one of my very reasons for living slip away. But I do still have something precious to live for. I will hold true to my vow this time, no matter what. Don't forget that my persona is weak against fire. I can swear all the vows I want, but if the enemy attacks my weak points, I'll fall without accomplishing my goals.
True, that is very true. Okay, what about you, Yukari?
Looking back on it, I didn't think much of Mitsuru-senpai at the beginning of last year. I didn't know anything about her, and I thought I was the only one who was suffering. Sometimes I wish I could find a time machine, so I could go back to my younger self and slap her silly. Though it's clear now that the past can't be changed.
Okay, it's not even Mitsuru's fault. Why you keep blaming her? I thought you were a friend, weirdo. Yukari's just a weirdo at this point. She's completely destroyed anything that she's done throughout the entirety of the game. And I'm gonna say that now. Her whole character, the whole point, was her to become friends at the end with Mitsuru and forget about the past events. And they completely destroyed it. That's terrible. Because the whole point was Yukari built herself up through the entirety of the game. All that building up to her being able to notice that she's been angry for no reason has been completely reverted back to normal. And I keep saying that there's a bunch of reversion. Maybe the social links never happened, and that could be the story. But it's weird, because then why would they have any attachment to Spooks? Because that was the whole point of why they got even more attached to him, was because of him becoming true friends with everyone. Except for, well, the main characters when it comes to the male characters, because the male version of the Persona 3 protagonist can't become true friends with any of the male protagonists. Well, he does get those events with the male counterparts of the C's members, but it's not enough to be a whole social link, is what I'm trying to say. So, it is interesting. I don't know if that's actually what happened, but it doesn't make sense. Unless Yukari just completely threw everything he said away, which makes no sense, because she said she would make up with her mom, she said she would fix everything, and apparently she didn't. She completely lied about that fact, and also, apparently the whole event in, when we went to the, Kyoto, and she made friends with Mitsuru, never happened then, because even though they remembered everything, apparently she doesn't remember any of that, because literally Mitsuru and Yukari are best friends now when it came to the end of the original story. It is weird, but I don't know, that is strange. It's like they completely forgot about that. Maybe the person writing it didn't have the full story when the original game, and they're kind of just going off a basic summary of the beginning of the game, which is weird, because it's strange. And at the end of the day, these gameplays are also reviews in my own way, so it definitely does kind of affect my rating of what I thought of the answer, if it's going to completely forget some of the main points of the main story, because that is weird. And I can't really look away from that, I'm gonna be honest. It is weird at the end of the day.
That hurt for Shinji and me not to know our parents' faces. but at least at the same time, it made things easier. Growing up in a high-class family like Minstru's has its disadvantages. She's been dealing with the shadows since she was little. You gotta admire her guts.
I guess. Well, how about you, Ken? Oh wait, talk to Junpei instead, I guess.
If we're the reason this is all happening, does that mean we all have a door to our past? We've seen one of Ken, Akihiko Senpai, me, and Koromaru, and Mitsuru Senpai.
Okay, so did count Koromaru. Good. Okay. So, yeah, it's gotta be one for everyone then. So, maybe Menace, maybe Aegis, and maybe Yukari, or maybe Fuka. One of those four for the last ones then. Interesting.
So who's left? The three ladies? Well, I guess we'll find out soon.
Yeah, true. Very true. Oh wait, Ken. Almost forgot about you, bud.
It seems more people fall victim to the shadows than I imagined. Some wind up in accidents and some have their hearts eaten. What exactly are these shadows? Where'd they come from?
I wonder that as well. They're the enemy. Well, that's what Aegis normally would say, because that's her programming. But let's change the programming. I wonder that as well.
It's also strange that only Persona users can defeat them.
True.
I wonder if there's some link between Personas and shadows.
Well, that definitely is the case, and we know that because of Persona 4 and 5. They're the shadows of ourselves. So that's the only reason why Personas, our rebellious hearts, can fight them. Because the only way to fight something that is basically yourself is to use your full strength / your persona to do so. That's basically what I understand for that. And I'm pretty sure it would be the same thing for Persona 3, because I'm pretty sure that's more built up over the course of the games, and that's basically what it is. Even though that's Persona 5's saying of it, that's basically what it is at the end of the day, and that's how I understand it.
We're slowly figuring out the reason why we're seeing these past events. We've been through more than half of the doors in the Desert of Doors, though we still don't know anything about the dark figure. Anyway, there's not much further to go. Let's keep it up.
Okay, yeah, of course. So that's everyone. Interesting. Well, with that, we'll be getting into, I guess we can check out the next door since we have the option to. So let's go check it out real quick since we have the option. So where's that door? Oh, it's this one. So we're going to be getting into the Judeca block in the next episode, leaving, so this door right over here is the last one out of the ones that we currently have, Empyrean. But this is the reason why I think there's an 8th door. This area right here. And I don't think this is for no reason. I think there is one more door we have yet to see, and that'll be the final one, which more than likely will take us to the final area, or whatever is behind there, final end of the story, final boss, who honestly knows, but it definitely will lead us to the end of the story, wherever that is, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I guess we'll find out. But, with that being said, thank you all for watching today's episode, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next episode, and we'll be getting ourselves into the Judeca door from the Desert of Doors. So with that, see you all in the next one, peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.